DisneyOnWheels. I'm Stacey. Thank you for joining me again. It is lovely to have you here with me. So today I am going to be talking to you about how to plan a Walt Disney World vacation, holiday, trip, when you're disabled. I'm in a wheelchair myself, but I'm going to try and include other disabilities, blind, autistic, things like that, to try and help others, not just myself. So yes, I use a Powerchair. Now my Powerchair is a Invacare Pronto SureStep M61, I think. It's fantastic. It changed my life. I'd been stuck in the house for a year before I'd got it. I couldn't go out, and this it was, what's the word? I was reluctant to get it because it was almost an admission of I'm ill, I'm disabled, I'm not the person I once was. And I remember standing there with my mum, trying to stand there with my mum on my crutches, and her going, "Go on, sit in this one, see what this one's like." And I was like, "You have a go in it first, you try it." And Mum was like, "Come on, you know." And it was the biggest hurdle to get over. It doesn't sound like anything, you know, like when you go and visit people at the hospital and there's wheelchairs, you go and jump in one and have a whiz round. But this was different. This was, this is, you know, this is, for me, this is, it's hard. It's so hard to put it into words. But once I'd got over that hurdle, sat in a few chairs and tested them out, it's fantastic, you know. And I was so lucky to get a really good chair and to be able to get one. So yeah, so that's, sorry, it's getting a bit too deep into it there, but yes, so it has changed my life and I love my chair. It's fantastic. She's called Bertha, and Bertha will go 20 miles on one charge. What I do is we just put her on charge overnight, and then I know it's ready if I need it the next day, because you never know what's going to happen if you've got to zoom out. I try not to use her in the house too much because I don't want to not try to walk around, because obviously I can and I do walk around. I know people see see us standing up out of a wheelchair and think, "Oh, miracle," because I know the lovely lady that acts in Coronation Street as Izzy. She excuse me, she was seen outside her house getting out of her chair and going to lock her front door, and somebody reported her for benefit fraud. They said, "Oh, she's not really disabled, she can walk." Well, yes, she has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome too, and yes, we can walk. We can't walk far, and sometimes when we do walk, we dislocate and fall over and end up with more injuries. So, you know, we get a lot of pain. So we do have to use wheelchairs, unfortunately. It's not something we choose to do. God, if I didn't have to be in a wheelchair, I wouldn't. You know, I went from a life of working, going to the gym, going out with really long walks up in the hills with my dog, with the kids, and now I can't do that. And for people to sort of go, "Oh, you know, oh, you can walk." Well, yes, but it's sorry, Dottie was just jumping in front. It makes it harder somehow when people sort of have this air of disbelief. But anyway, I've digressed, gone off on a tangent like I do. So yes, my chair, Bertha, yep, she not only goes front and back, forward and back, my seat raises, so if there's something on a high shelf, if I'm out shopping, I can reach up and grab it without having to stop and ask somebody. So that's fantastic. Now, what I had to look into with planning the holiday, sorry, excuse me, I just had a drink of Diet Coke and it's making me burp, was whether it was going to be easy for me to take my wheelchair, to take the power chair with me. Now obviously America, their electricity systems are different. How do you say that? Their electrical supply is different to ours. Now they run on 110 volts per whatever. Don't understand electric, so bear with me. And we run on 220 to 240, so obviously we get a lot more power through. So I had to look up whether it was going to be easy, and was I going to be able to charge my chair, was it even going to charge, was it going to fry the batteries. And it turns out that a lot of people have had problems. Some people haven't had any problems. Some people have had problems with slow charging, items being lethargic, not just wheelchairs, you know, hair straighteners, phone chargers, you know, things like that, taking a little bit of time. So looking into it, it could have fried the batteries, it could have fried the charger. So you can get transistor? Anyway, you can get something that helps with this and to stop that happening. Or you can rent a power chair, a scooter, or what are called EVCs out there, to have during the duration of your stay. You haven't got to worry about the electric, you haven't got to worry about anything goes wrong because they're there. So that is a really good thing to look into. Have a look at places to rent for the entire duration of your holiday. Now you can rent wheelchairs, power chairs, EVCs off Disney. No, actually I don't think you can rent power chairs. I think you rent the EVCs directly from Disney each day. Now with this comes there's the added expense. You pay, you give a deposit. There is also the worry that they might not have any left when you get there and you want one. So it probably is worthwhile, if you need one every day, to go to an outside source, a company that is based in Orlando, to rent your wheelchair, power chair, EVC, scooter thingy off. Now it's easy to arrange. Contact the company and they can leave your device with the hotel, so it's there before you arrive, or you can arrange a time for them to drop it off, and then you can leave it back with the hotel when you're ready to go, and then they can collect from there. So it's very easy to do, so it's nothing that, you know, involves any added stress. It's just like renting a car, you know, obviously you pay your deposits and everything like that, and it's there and it's done, and you haven't got to worry if anything breaks down. They'll be coming out to fix it, so you haven't got that added stress if you take your own chair. Something goes wrong, what the hell am I going to do, sort of thing, you know. I've been out sort of up the road and my gearbox went in my chair, and it was like, oh my god, how the hell do I get it home? You know, at least I was close to home. My god, if that had happened in America, I wouldn't have known what the hell to do. So yes, so there's a lot to be said for renting one out there. I wasn't sure what to do with mine. I thought, do I take it, do I not? I've decided I'm not taking it, but I've also decided that I am going to get a new self-propel chair. Now I have not self-propelled in a long time, so I've got 9 months before our trip to get in a bit of practice. I'm trying to lose weight, so we're doing that, and hopefully I'll be okay by the time we go, and I'll have my new chair, and that will be better for me, because then I'll be able to fold it down. I'll be able to just, just fold it up, shove it in a taxi if we want to get somewhere. Now, if you are in a power chair and you're in a wheelchair scooter that doesn't fold, then there are accessible taxis available in Orlando. I'm not so sure with Uber though. I'm not sure whether Uber do many accessible vehicles, so but there will be accessible taxis in Orlando that you can call from your resort. So don't worry that there's not going to be any way out. All the buses are accessible. All Disney buses are accessible. You can get a wheelchair on all of them. Now, I think you can only get 2 on each bus. So obviously if there's already some on the bus, then you will have to wait for the next one, unless you can fold your wheelchair down, and then there you go. So yep, so that's me with my wheelchair and what I'm planning to do. Whether it'll happen or not, I don't know. I'm trying to build on my strength at the moment by going to new physiotherapy sessions. I had one today, so my legs are done in, very painful. My new physio was absolutely amazed at my level of hyperextension and how far that my legs would just bend in all sorts of the wrong directions, how easy they were to dislocate. So today and this evening it's been a painful one, but hopefully we're getting there now, and I can start to work a little bit more on strength, because on my one leg my muscle tone is completely vanished. There's just nothing, so trying to get that back. I know I'm never going to be able to walk, you know, any great distance again, but just a little bit would be nice, you know. That's what I'm aiming for. So yes, so let's get back to Disney. Now, when you've booked your holiday and you have made Disney aware of your disability, next comes the time when you need to inform your airline. Now, just because you've told Disney and you've booked your flight through them, don't rest on that information is going to go through. You need to be the one to contact your airline. Now, obviously, if you've booked everything separately, you know, that will occur to you anyway. So we fly Virgin, so contact Virgin or British Airways or whoever you're flying with and ask for assistance. Explain your needs and your disability so they know how best to help you. And what they will do is assist you on and off the plane with everything. Sometimes help you through immigration and things like that. They will sort out getting your wheelchair on and off the plane and all that sort of business. Okay, so that's flights. Now, when you get to Disney, if you're taking the Magical Express, remember to inform them that you need an accessible coach to take you to your resort, because not all of them are, because they're sort of like the big high coaches. So they will, you know, it's not a problem, they will sort out an accessible vehicle and pick you up from the airport in that. Also with rooms, if you are in a wheelchair, then obviously you're going to want to request a ground floor room that's easy accessible, maybe that's close to the main resort location, not have one like that's sort of quite far away. If you have somebody traveling with you that has autism, you may want to ask for a room that's quite far away from the noise, away from the hustle and bustle. You know, always speak to Disney about what problem that you have, what disability that you have, the issues that can arise from that, because honestly they will help you in any way they can to sort through that. So now let's get on to the parks. Now obviously parks have rides, they have shows, it's what we go for. And obviously if you're in a wheelchair you think, oh, can I get on that? Can I go on certain things? Now some rides you will be able to stay in your wheelchair, some you will have to transfer for. So you need to know your transferring skills. Can you transfer easy from one place to another? You know, this I suggest, if it's something you are not sure of your transferring skills, if you need extra support, whether you need sort of like banana boards, sliding boards, things like that to help you get over. Try and sort of have a go with these sorts of things before you go, so it's not a shock when you get there and you think, oh no, I can't actually do it. So try and put these things in place before you go, so they're there. Now if you go on the My Disney Experience app, all rides will tell you whether they are accessible, whether you can stay in your wheelchair, whether you have to transfer, whether you have to transfer to a different type of chair. All the information is on there, so make a plan before you go, have a look so you know which rides that you can do, which ones are completely out of the question. Again, if you're travelling with anyone on the autism spectrum, again, have a good look through YouTube and do some of the point of view rides. Check, make sure there isn't going to be anything that is going to cause upset or distress to somebody that is autistic. Also, Disney does Disney Access, Disability Access card stroke service. So what this entails is sort of like a fast pass, but you can use it alongside of them to go to a ride, show them your card, and they will tell you a time to come back. So then you miss out the queue, you haven't got to worry about standing around, you haven't got to worry about standing out in the heat, you haven't got to worry about standing with somebody who just can't stand for long periods, who doesn't like to stand, who finds it very difficult. So they are invaluable for people like that. And a shout out to Mini Wishes for making me aware of them as well, so thank you, ladies. Yes, so if you go to Disney Guest Relations and speak to them about the access card, they will be able to help you. Also, they will help you if you are blind or deaf. There are different devices that they can give to you at Disney to assist you on all of the different rides. They also supply different information in Braille, large print, things like that to help. So yes, that's another thing that Disney will offer. Right, so that's it for the disability access card. Yes, and I think that is about that for the Disney parks. Remember, always speak to Disney, speak to all the cast members while you're there. They are always willing to help. They will always, do anything they can to help. Before you go as well, speak to them, because they are an invaluable source of resources. They will always try and accommodate your requests. They won't ever say no. They will say, we'll try our best, and they will always try their best to sort something out for you. Because remember, if you don't ask, you don't get. You need to be vocal. You know your disability better than anyone. You know what you need to be, you know what you need to have a good holiday. You know what you need on a day-to-day basis to enjoy yourself, to be able to live just like everybody else. So talk to them. They're not scary, honestly. So there we have it. That's our little bit on disability today. There obviously will be more. Stay tuned. So yeah, I hope that has helped today. I hope that's sort of become a little bit clearer. Yes, and so I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.